All right, now we're moving into section 3, utilizing the hero's journey. Now, are you ready to learn about the hero's journey and how to use it to create a powerful narrative for your memoir? If so, let's get on that adventure. So, first things first, the hero's journey is a classic storytelling structure that has been used for centuries to create powerful narratives. It's a blueprint for stories like Harry Potter, Lord of the Rings, and Star Wars. So you'll recognize it as we go through these. And if you follow it, it's a proven method that will help you. It is called the hero's journey, and it can create a powerful narrative for your memoir. So, what's the hero's journey and how do you use it to create your narrative? Here's a few tips to get you started. All right, step 1, the call to adventure. Now, in the hero's journey, it starts with a call into an adventure or a moment that sets the story in motion. In your memoir, this could be, a moment of crisis, a personal challenge, or a turning point in your life, something that starts your story. Number 2, refusal of the call. Now, next in the hero's journey, the hero often hesitates before embarking on the journey, questioning their abilities to succeed. Now, in your memoir, though, this could be a moment of self-doubt, uncertainty, or where you question your ability to overcome the challenges that are ahead of you. Number 3, meeting the mentor. Now, every hero needs a mentor, someone who can help them, guide them to where they're supposed to be, provide them with the direction, the tools that they need to succeed. They need that mentor. So in your memoir, to follow the hero's journey, you could be your mentor could be a person who inspires you, a teacher who helps you grow, or a mentor who just guides you along the way of whatever your own story is. Number 4, crossing the threshold. This is the moment when the hero leaves their ordinary world and enters the unknown. In your memoir, though, this could be a moment where you step out of your comfort zone, where you decide to take a risk, or you step out of the regular routine. It's where you start moving forward. Number 5, trials and tribulations. Now, every hero faces challenges along their journey, right? So they have obstacles that they have to overcome in order to succeed. But in your memoir, these challenges could be your personal struggles, the external obstacles that get in your way, or moments of crisis. Number 6, the innermost cave. Now, this is the moment when the hero faces their greatest challenge, their darkest moments, the biggest fear that they have, the tallest obstacle, and they're facing it. It's the toughest point of the journey. In your memoir, this could be a moment of self-discovery, a personal revelation, or something that caused a profound change in your life. Number 7, the resurrection. Now, this is the moment when the hero rises from the ashes, stronger and more determined than ever before. But in your memoir, this is a moment where you could have, personal growth or a personal triumph. It's going to be that moment where you realize you've overcome the biggest obstacle in your life and you see the light at the end of the tunnel. Number 8, the return home. Now, the return home is when the hero finally returns home, transformed by their journey, and he's ready to start sharing the story, and he's the local hero. In your memoir, this could be a moment of reflection, moments of gratitude, or the same thing, where you're sharing your story with others. Number 9, identify your hero's journey. Now, the hero's journey is not a one-size-fits-all structure. It's impossible to just use that one thing and stick your life into that template. So make sure you don't try to take your life into something else, because this is about fitting a formula or a journey that is commonly used, and readers will expect it and follow it with a little more ease and comfort. So it's good to use it, but don't try to fit your life into it if it doesn't actually fit there. You can skip steps, do whatever you need to do. What's really important is that you use those steps that can fit into your life into your own journal. So, the other thing, number 10, use archetypes. Now, archetypes are they're intended to be used to create relatable characters. Basically, it's a universal symbol like, a mentor, the shadow, the trickster, things like that. And again, if you don't have a trickster in your life, in your story, then don't invent it unless you mean for this to be fiction. If it's meant to be a memoir, then use what fits in to your story to your benefit to help the reader along the journey with you. But don't create things that aren't already there. Now, if you want to do a fiction that is maybe loosely based off of your memoirs, then you can do that as well. But that would be more fictionalized. It's fiction. We'll talk about that in other courses. If you're interested, make sure you follow me, subscribe and things. We will definitely cover those in fiction lessons. But for memoirs, make sure that what you're writing is the truth. It's your story. Number 11, show, don't tell. Now, you may actually get tired of me saying this, but it applies in multiple places. So I'm going to keep saying it because it is really the key lesson that you need to take away from everything as you write your memoir. Show, don't tell. It's just a very powerful method, and you use the sensory details, dialogue, and descriptive language to show your reader the key moments of the hero's journey. Number 12, embrace vulnerability. Now, the hero's journey is not always easy, and it often requires a level of vulnerability and honesty that can be uncomfortable. But it's important, and it's those moments that create the most powerful and relatable narratives. So don't be afraid to share your struggles, your fears, and your failures along the way. Now, you're going to find that you may be one of two people. You may find it extremely easy to just pour it out and be open and authentic from the start, but a lot of people aren't. So if you're that person who has a hard time being that open and that honest, I really encourage you to spend some time pre-drafting and doing things where you're just really working through those things on your own. And as you work through it, as you kind of reflect on that part of your life or that lesson learned or that experience or abuse, whatever it was, when you have your memoir, you need to already be beyond the healing part of that, or at least in the process to where you're not spewing poison onto your reader. So I kind of equate it to, when you have personal abuse, you may have scars still and you remember still what happened, but they're not open wounds. And so you want to be able to talk about those things. And sometimes you can't immediately talk about them openly like you're going to need to in a great memoir. Just practice, write it out to yourself, and then you decide what you're willing to share and not share. It's your story. You decide. But I do encourage you, the more authentic you can be, the more your reader is going to engage and really appreciate your authenticity. And finally, number 13, reflect. Reflect on your journey. Take the time to reflect on the hero's journey and the lessons that you learned along the way. What insights did you gain from the experience that you had? What did you learn about yourself, about others, about the world? How did that impact you? What did it change in you? Use these reflections to create a powerful and meaningful ending to your memoir. It's the ending as well as the journey that the people who are reading your story want to know. They want to know, did they find healing? Did they solve the problem? Did they reach the destination, or are they still shooting for it, or did they give up? They want to know that. And so find your ending and make sure that you use your self-reflection and the things that are real, that become part of the final step of your hero's journey. Because the hero's journey is a powerful tool for creating the narrative, because it will resonate with the reader. It inspires them to take action, but it's truly going to be your authenticity and your honesty that inspires them, that makes them want to go out and be like you. Or sometimes, the point of your memoir maybe, don't do what I did, do what I say, because of this. And you may inspire them to do the opposite of what you did, and you save them from a life of pain or a life of bad choices and different things like that. So really know what your message is and use that hero's journey where you can. It is not a one size fits all. Use it where you can, and share your transformation, share your overcomer stories. And when it hurts too much to share it, like I said, do some more writing, work through it on your own, maybe talk to someone. There's nothing wrong with that. Get through those things so then you can share with others your overcomer stories. Now, I know that this may seem like a downer. It's not always a downer, I promise you that. Sometimes memoirs are just hilarious. It really just depends on what you would decide to share. But I challenge you, get out there, have some fun, and let the creativity soar.